All right. All right. All right, the stream is started. We are currently troubleshooting some compilation errors and Eike broke his system and fixed it again. All right, the stream is started. We are currently Ooh,
Let's see what happens when I run build and watch.
okay.
It's terminated because undefined symbol.
Code task mem3. Fuck.
I'm not entirely sure if I updated everything correctly.
Okay.
Which
But
file did you?
since it's a different error, I would guess that you did.
It is a different arrow. Oh yeah, I have your commit from
Oh, nice.
1052.
That's a
So
good.
that
So then code task thing, whatever, is something I used recently as well. It's strange that I don't get this error when I build on my side. So it's undefined. It's not even.
But it's the same error as before.
So before there was working directory gets that was missing, and I implemented that. But code task mem3 I didn't see before.
I mean, that's the linker is failing here.
Okay.
So it's not the source file, it is the build step. Because you need to specify the library, com library.
Okay. So I guess we have to figure out which library it's
How
defined.
is this build? How is the build triggered?
The build is in build.c.
And where does it specify which libraries it uses?
Try to search to find dash L win something perhaps, or any Windows library. I don't remember the name. Okay, that's the Linux ones. Right.
Okay, so where the thing is, it's never clear which library. Do you see which Ole? Oh, it's Ole.
Ole Ole 32 it seems. And I learned the hard way that I should always put the names of libraries in small caps, because then when I want to build from Linux or Mac, since it's case sensitive, it will fail. So can you put Ole in small caps? It doesn't solve it. Okay, interesting. So maybe, I think there are multiple places where I
there's
say,
actually here it is.
oh shit, okay.
Mm,
Could you check if there are other places where I link user32, for example? Because it's possible, I think there is still some repetition in this file that I should get rid of. I think you can again search for dash L win 32. Or what was it? Oh yeah, Ole. I mean,
I've
Ole would be the one that's missing. So
it's missing. So let's search for kernel. It has Ole, it has Ole. Oh, you have different orders sometimes? No. Because this thing is also order dependent. It could vary. Which one is executed?
one is executed to build the DLL, and one is executed to build the packaged final executable that doesn't have a DLL. I should get rid of the duplication.
So it's not this one. Is it this one?
Build exe. I guess. I know this is for the packaging, I think.
But there are only 2 cases. Would I see printf here showing up?
Yes, but it's possible like there is a progress bar that hold on. Sorry, I see the issue now. We are hitting the link issue when building the very thing we are looking at. Like build.c is not managed. It's not managing to build itself. So we need to add that library to the build.bat script. Oh boy. Oh boy. And here it should be easy to find if you scroll up a little bit. Yeah, here, 22, line 22 is the command line for building it. And where are the libraries? Let's see.
Here it is.
In the middle. I should maybe, you can put them on the other line if you want.
Okay, let's try it again. Ah!
Finally.
Yeah, that explains why it did not appear on your machine.
Yeah.
Oh,
indeed.
now I have.
Indeed. Okay, now we have something different still. If you scroll up, you will see the error on the console. Oh, you look in the problems tab as you prefer. That's just a warning, that's fine. Undefined symbol, console window draw. So I think maybe this one is I forgot to put the export prefix, perhaps, possibly. Console window draw. Let me see on my side.
It says it's public.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Again, a linker issue.
Okay, so and then it's when it's trying to build the game lib or something like this. I'm guessing the runner, okay. So I think it shouldn't matter, but maybe you can try to clean, to run the same command with -- clean.
So built-in watch needs to go.
Yeah.
And I'm... what should I run now?
Scripts build -- clean, I guess, yeah. But normally it should fail the same way. I don't think it had anything.
Warning.
Console window draw undefined. DLL import. Console window. So I guess it's not linking against the. Well, it is because there is the engine lib and the runner, which is the executable, and the runner links against the engine lib. And the engine for sure is defining the compiling the function console window draw.
I mean, it is interesting that this is the only error I get.
Yes.
Because...
Yes, that's true.
Because why would it only... If something was missing, why would it complain only about that one missing? It's not like... What happens if I comment this out? Will it build?
Good question. Yes.
Yes, it does. So what is so special about this one? Is it maybe the compilation unit RDX console window is not compiled at all?
So normally it's included from somewhere.
Let me verify it from like that.
Okay.
I will just call another function from that file. And now, yes, we get 2 missing imports.
Interesting.
So it's definitely the compilation unit that is not being supplied here properly. So why is RDX console a window? Either it's not compiled at all.
Mm-hmm.
And why do I see so much red stuff here? Yeah, it's confused.
I don't know why the red stuff. Probably the extension is set up in a way.
Yeah, it's not it doesn't find stuff.
So what's up? What's wrong?
So why would the
So what's confusing me most is that it works for me, and that I cannot understand why it would work for me and not you. That's annoying. Maybe it's a different linker, but still.
I would think. I mean, what's the difference between the profiler window that is found and the window here? Like, what is even the difference? It's in the same directory.
I do not know. Is there a duplicate one that overrides it or something?
No.
No.
I mean, I tried calling another function here.
Yeah.
And and it also did not find the other function.
Okay.
So, and the signature is on the RDX profiler and the other. It's just void. So, no reason why this is any different.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, what I'm thinking, what I would like to verify is how is this content here compiled? Because I would now think that
Right.
RDX console window is not passed as compiled.
Right. It's compiled from, so there is a file called rdx.c. That's basically the whole
Yes.
engine side. And
And
from
here's
there.
the profiler, and where's the consoler? Here is the consoler. And the consoler window is just right next to the profiler.
So I think the problem is probably in the linking step, because this rdx file .c gets compiled into the engine lib, the engine DLL, which you can see if you want in the bin folder. And the runner is supposed to link that engine DLL. And apparently doesn't find the function in the DLL.
Okay, let's do something stupid here. I'm just moving it.
Okay.
Do I get a different error? No, it keeps thinking this is the problematic thing.
What about just, could you try to delete the bin folder? Because I wonder if there is a problem in the copying of the DLLs or something, perhaps.
This is a very... I would have assumed that clean does that,
Yeah.
but...
No, it just deletes the temp directory for some reason.
Okay, I will just delete everything.
It's a good feedback. I should.
Delete everything is... we have builds folder. I will delete the builds folder. This is the equivalent of switching it off and on again.
Yes.
Fails very, very, very quickly. Same error.
And what's in bin then at this point?
What?
What's in bin then at this point?
I don't care because I'm gonna delete again.
I mean, at least there is engine, so that's good because it's supposed to link to engine, right? Oh,
Why? It is included in RDXC. Wait, let me check something. I'm just curious.
mm-hmm. I have an idea. There is something slightly different. Maybe I'm in this one at the top. I include RDX profiler window.h, and I think in console window I don't. And the reason it might matter is that in the H files, the header files, there is the export attribute on the functions, basically.
Doesn't make sense in my head because
like this export thing expands to different things depending on the context, I think. Error type.
So you think?
I think maybe if you paste that at the top.
So for the console window,
It refuses.
it does not include this one.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe if you include it, perhaps because of the export thing. Oh my god. Okay.
It only took us 1.5 hours.
Yes.
Okay, so I can run now build watch.
So I should remember that so I don't fall into the same trap.
It's watching for changes. Then I go to run, pray, and it runs.
Noise.
Time to call it a day. Well, actually, it's pretty fast here as well as on my phone. Maybe the fixed time step is not broken.
For me, it was very slow on the phone. I tested it.
Okay.
Strangely.
Can I change the frame rate?
Sure. Oh my god. But is it random? Maybe I don't remember if your code.
No, the speed is just because the horizontal speed is one constant.
Okay.
Regardless of what happens.
Okay.
And when the pedal strikes it to the left, it just adds velocity that way.
Okay.
Wow.
The AI
come on.
is too good.
That is so unfair. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
517. Oh boy.
Human is losing.
It
Well,
looks
how am I supposed to win that?
it looks like the AI is doing tricks, like sliding the ball.
Well, the ball is also not reflecting correct. I mean, it's using only a center point, so the ball has a width of 0. That is also not quite fair. Because sometimes I feel it like that. But that was the point about if I use a physics engine. Like you saw, it just slightly, it just passes sometimes the pedal.
Yeah.
I really want to use physics here.
Yeah.
Ah. So what do we do? Network, physics?
I'm a bit afraid of both, to be honest.
Why would you be afraid of physics?
Because we have to link the... No, that should be easy. That should be easy.
Oh.
We have to link the box to D.
Yeah, now I'm afraid too. It's not linked. We had just linker errors. Okay. Okay. What is the most...
We can also just improve the game further. I don't know.
No, I want physics.
Okay, fair.
Give me physics, please.
Then I think in my on my side I can show you. Can we switch to my screen for a bit? Okay, I'm still streaming my screen. It seems. Do you see it?
Oh, they never saw my game.
What?
My screen was not visible at all the whole time.
No, it was.
Okay.
I was still streaming my screen to Discord and OBS, but I was looking at your screen. Anyway, whoop.
So you have box to C test.
Yes, and a little scene with an astronaut. First, I wanted to try something with no gravity, and then I added gravity still to see the box fall. Okay, so this works.
Moonlander is such a fun thing.
Yes, this works, and I think the way I made it work, because I just wanted to experiment, I think I have box to see. Box. Because now I have to remember how it works.
Oh, it is not part of the engine.
No.
Oh.
But it should be easy.
Yeah, that is gonna hurt.
It should be easy enough.
I mean, then I can just download the box2D source and...
It's in tools. Okay, it's in tools. Which maybe is a bit weird, but okay. I have a box to see here with the source and the headers. And then I think you probably have this function in your build.c as well. Link step add box2d dependency. Probably. Then I can just send you that through.
But I don't think I have box2D in my tools folder.
Yeah, I know. But I just sent you the zip file, probably with macOS DS store files included to Discord.
Download. Okay, and I unpack that. What do I?
Can unpack it in the tools folder. I guess it's a bit strange to have it as a tool, but
yeah, this deserves to be a lib folder.
yeah, it should be.
No, I moved it to the wrong folder. Thank you very much. So now I have it here. Okay.
What's happening?
I'm trying really hard to unpack it.
Ah, it's off screen. Okay, I see.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. No worries.
So here it is.
Right.
Including some Mac stuff, which I'm gonna delete. Oh, and now I have box to the two box. Yeah, okay. Oh.
A box in a box, one might say.
That's exactly what happens when you're doing boxing on different languages. So anyway, so this folder is now empty. There's this extern is empty. This is not empty, okay.
Extern is empty. Let me check on my side. Just to make sure.
Yeah, it's an empty folder.
For me, I have simde inside it in extern. So I suppose probably there is some problem. Yes, you can just drag simde in extern because I think it was that way.
This one?
Yeah. At least on my side, okay. It's like this.
Makes sense.
Cool.
I guess.
And then we just have to link it. And I think you can do that. So somewhere there should be build game library or something. Let me check on my side how it's called. Build game DLL steps. Yes.
And then there's a second.
I think if you toggle that to true, then it should work right away, magically.
I can't write the file.
Why? Why? Any idea why it might do that? Is it because of my stuff or is it just...
I don't know. Windows is sometimes special.
Okay.
So let me just run a build. Should work, right? Oh no.
What a surprise. Engine, tools, box, 2D, source, star.
It does not exist.
Engine, tools, box.
Oh, it should be in engine tools.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Okay, let's move it to engine.
Oh, we can also change the path in the build
I
script.
think we should change the path.
Yeah. So I think it's called box to C path or something like this. There is just a variable we can change.
Engine dear.
That one. Okay, sure.
I did find it. Are these errors or is this?
Delist including invisible. Return invalid.
Because it ought here it is also searching for in the engine folder.
So maybe there is multiple.
Let me just search this.
There was a second one.
Yes, there's a second one. Of course, there's always redundancy in case something fails. Oh, come on!
What's that now? Still? Tools, box to D source.
There's no source. It says embedded tools.
Interesting. The path starts with a slash. Yeah. I see on the. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Computers are super hard.
Oh!
Hey, nice. Nice.
So now I need to include some stuff.
Right. Maybe I should check on my side box to see test what I include. Okay. So it seems you can just include box2d / box2dh and you should be good to go.
Something is not adding up here.
But you don't need the tools. The tools is not necessary.
Okay. I'm confused.
Look at my screen.
Oh, I should look at your screen.
Just a sec. Like this should be enough.
Well, only if I edit my include settings, I guess. Well, let's ask the compiler. Fail. Not found.
Box2d. Ah, it's box2d. It's box2d, not C. I think it was just a gimmick at the time. All right.
Good. That one works. Now I want to edit my include path.
Good call.
Just tools / box C / include.
Quickly check on my side if it's set up the same.
Okay, it does find it. So now what I want to do in the init is to set up box2d, which is box2d. Oh,
Right.
I forgot about it. There is some init or world or something.
Do you want to
get some code?
Yeah, as a reference on the side. I didn't touch it for a while, so I don't know if it's good or bad.
No idea. No. That is the not so joyful part of having structs that are all the same.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my. So many variables.
Hopefully they are optional.
Why does it want a pointer?
I don't know. I was wondering that for Sokol as well. And I think it might be because of C++. Like, so it works on both C and C++ because C++ is weird with these initializers.
Oh, you sent me source code. So maybe I should just take that one.
If you want, you can use it as a to compare.
The thing that first comes to my mind is that when I create a world, it returns an ID, and I have to clean it up. So when we reload stuff and so on, it's right?
Yeah, I would guess that makes sense.
What does it return actually? B2 world ID.
Nice.
But the game state is retained, right?
Yes. which is a good thing, I think, because Box2D is a third party. Like, it's also compiled with the engine, and it doesn't suffer from hot reload. So we should shut it down only when the game quits.
Well, or I shut it down when I'm reloading.
No need for it, because the Box2D will just survive. You can imagine it as a...
Yeah, but if I init and I create it again and again.
But init is called only once at the start of when you launch the game, right?
Oh.
And that I was wondering if I should rename it, by the way, maybe to start, like in Unity. So it's more clear.
Honestly, start and init is both equally weird in this context.
What would you name a function that runs the first frame or before the first frame only?
I mean, there are two firsts. One is the first time the game is being set up. And one is when the game is hot reloaded.
This one is when it's set up, but I don't know how to name it, so it's very clear that it's only...
I mean, that you could be more explicit, like game underscore init and reload underscore init.
Okay, that sounds good. Game underscore init. And actually, you can name it however you want. So
I think yeah.
Pong init.
I think runtime init is pretty clear, because the runtime is only initialized once.
Okay. And it could be Pong init if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, for here it could be like Pong init, but like this dot init function, I think runtime init and game init. I don't know. Right. At least runtime init is pretty clear to me, at least. It means it's when the runtime starts up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so we have that one. I have a world. And if I have a world, I can also create a pedal, right?
Yes.
Actually, I would prefer to shut down the world every time we hot reload and reinitialize it.
For having tried the other way, I think the other way is very good, to not shut it down. Because basically when you recompile the game logic, you just recompile the game logic, and the game logic pushless button on the Box2D world.
Yes.
And that works. But you can try if you prefer, but I would say
it's just when I would play with variables or something. Because I need to create now the pedals. I need to create like this setup, the how big is the pedal and so on.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Yes.
So let's try to...
Yeah, that's a good point. You cannot really...
I mean, what I can do here is when the simulate starting is happening. No, that's the wrong one. Right, that's the state machine I set up last time. And
but yeah, I see your point. You want to recreate all the objects. Another way would be maybe to have a reset function that That's what I do in many of the little games I made. A result function that I can trigger with a key binding, like Control R.
But what I think I want to do is, even if it's crude, if the Pong timer is 0 on the starting thing, I know that I'm initializing.
Okay.
So I create a new world, and if that's the thing, it's an ID, and I don't know where the ID starts. So what happens when I call B2?
I think it's 0 when it's not initialized and not 0 when it is. I think I had a similar problem and I figured that anyway.
No. Oh, I don't have the game state. Oh.
Why not? Because it's supposed to be.
Because
it's global.
It was on a global. Yes.
Okay.
I'll make it part of Pong.
Okay.
Oh, there's a revision and an index. You know what? I'm trusting that the creator of he has figured it out. Probably.
Okay.
And
maybe
now
it will just assert. We'll see.
You know what? Let's just run the game. Bam! Error, exception.
Not even an assert side.
I mean,
to be fair, it was I think it's not the final, not the latest version of the library, so maybe these days it's fixed.
Still strange. I would always start with revision 1. Whatever. I'm just curious. What's it gonna be?
Me too.
Did not crash. But it also does not output anything. Damn it.
I think it maybe outputs to... No, sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
On the terminal.
Or to output. There is a tab called output. I don't know why. No? Okay. Oh, debug console, sorry. Debug console, maybe?
Debug console?
Just right of here. Left of here. Just between the two that you clicked.
Oh, there. Yeah, that's the console of the debugger, I think.
Okay. Good.
I mean... Let's just do it like that.
Oh, can I suggest something? That's fine as well.
Starts off as revision 1. Okay.
Nice. Makes sense. That way he can use the first slot in the array for the world.
Okay. Stop it. Maybe it's time to try build and watch again.
Mm-hmm.
Did it fail or oh, no?
No, no. If it's yellow, it's probably there is a warning.
Yes.
But I don't think it's a big problem. I mean, there are a lot of warnings. It seems 133. Kind of concerning.
100 what? Where do you see? Ah, the problems.
It's maybe the extension, the C++ extension that is
yeah
kicking in. What?
I just was reminded of a work experience 15 years ago. It must have been. And I was working with Eclipse and I was trying to use Eclipse for PHP and it did not work so well. And I had like in that project thousands of errors. And I was trying to get that number down just because it does not make sense. And I went to the Eclipse configuration and there was like a maximum numbers of problems to be shown. And then I said in, okay, show me 0 problems. And then the IDE said, quite philosophical, 0 is not a valid number of problems.
It has to be at least one.
you have to have problems. It's not valid to have no problems.
Nice. Quite fun. But then I wonder what the warnings are. Field scale? That's from the game.
Unused variables.
Okay.
I love unused variables.
Me too.
Tend to just ignore them. Anyway, the build step thingy is working. Save, it rebuilds, fine. I can start the game. Game is here. I go to the left side. Save. And it breaks.
Interesting.
I mean, it's nice that I get a stick trace.
I agree. Destroy world is crashing.
I mean, why? It's like
I don't know. It wasn't even after hot reload, or was it?
it was after hard reload.
Okay.
I mean, it is an assert. Oh, I'm getting a phone call.
So I'm guessing so here in box2d it's getting the world here from the index that we passed in, and then it's checking that the revision matches what we passed. So I suppose that we are destroying the world multiple times. That would be my guess.
As it turns out, someone was ringing on the door. My daughter could not get in.
Oh no, okay.
The insulation works.
Yeah. Oh no.
Right.
I think I have a guess while you were sorting things out, because it's using your ID that you pass to get the word, and then it's checking that the revision matches. And so if it doesn't match, it means that it was already destroyed previously. So I suppose that destroy is called multiple times. Is that possible? So basically that the timer doesn't progress or something, and also you can try RDX log to log stuff, and it should show right into the game as well. That's pretty handy.
I'm not used to %i.
Okay.
Some reason.
It was the first I learned, and oh, so many windows. Damn.
Hey.
And so to see the messages, it didn't crash. To see the messages, it crashed. Okay. You can press Control G, Control J in the game.
Well, the game is now paused.
Yeah.
It has crashed.
Maybe you should relaunch so we can see if it gets called multiple times indeed.
It can't. That is something I just ruled out. Because what I'm doing here is I'm checking if revision is not 0, and then I'm setting the revision to 0. So it should not call on the same world more than once.
I see.
What I'm thinking right now is if Box2D is clever and does a cleanup itself. Because when you unload the DLL, I mean, normally... Wait, how does it work? Where does it start? Actually, I want to get...
Maybe
It depends.
you're right, and I was wrong to think that Box2D is not hot reloaded. Maybe it's reset as well. Now I am doubting.
I know why. This is the reason. Because it's static memory. When the DLL is being unloaded, it unloads.
I thought the DLL was not like that Box2D was in the engine itself, not unloaded.
Oh, that's the question.
But I think I'm probably wrong actually. Link game lib. No. Yeah, no, I was wrong. It's in the hot reloaded lib. Yes.
That means I need to set the revision to 0 on hot reload. It's this one, right?
Guess.
That was wrong. Excuse me? Ah. Hey, this.
What was happening?
I had to save.
Okay.
Anyway, so now when I hot reload, it does not crash. Holy shit! This is always a shocker. Ah! We have a world.
Nice.
And the world gets cleaned up between the runs.
Right.
And now what I need to do is... Actually, you said I can see the logs here?
Yes, with Control J.
Created world. Okay. Oh, it's only called in the starting phase, and there's only one starting phase. That's fine. So it's not reset. So when the game starts, we create a world. Kind of makes sense. So ball. Let's start with a ball. B2 ball. Wait, that does not exist. That does not make sense. B2 body. Create. Or
Can maybe check on my previous test how it worked. Oh yeah, B2 create body.
yeah, it's this is a bit weird, but so
What
the
is
world
weird,
ID,
the order of words?
the wording, like
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's verb subject and
Yeah,
sometimes it's subject verb.
yeah. I'm also more on
But
team B2 body create than anyway.
so we create a dynamic body, which is perfect, and we need to save it in the world.
Right.
Changing something in the header struct is always fun.
Oh yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Yeah, it's too bad that it doesn't do something smarter.
Yeah, okay. I can't keep that open. That's
The promise of hot reload is crumbling. Sad.
yeah, it's understandable that it does not like that. Okay, I have now a ball. I need to create a circle on the ball. No. Circle shape.
Nice.
On the body.
You seem to know your way around Box2D. You used it recently.
I used it before, but years ago.
Nice.
But physics engines tend to have a certain way of handling things that is established. So
Yeah, okay, yeah.
you have your bodies, you attach shapes of physics bodies to it, and then
Yes,
that's usually how it goes.
I can almost picture the Unity interface. You're attaching components to a rigid body.
And it needs to be a pointer once again.
Oh, one too many parentheses.
B2 shape depth, B2 shape depth. Yes, way too many parentheses. Density sounds like 1. Contact events, no. Friction, there's no friction. Restitution.
Could be fun to give some effects to the ball with the paddle.
Absolutely, but not now. And now I need to pass another B2 circle. But I'm pretty sure the last time I used Box2D, it did not have these kind of structs. Or I used some other language.
Probably you
Where
use
was
the
that?
C++ version, right? Because it's new that Box2D is C. It used to be C++.
It is C now?
Mm-hmm.
That is a surprising, positive, surprising thing.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed.
What argument B2 world is incompatible with B2 body? Yeah, of course. B2 body, ball, whatever. I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even longer that I used it.
Okay.
So I have a circle shape.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's already almost 12, I just want to see a moving shape.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So let's give it a bounce, a kick. B2 at velocity. No. Set linear velocity. That's fine. And when the ball is in play, I'm starting to think that I would like to change the enum to a function pointer, so I just can jump to it with a click. Anyway, so what I want to do here is
I
to
see.
B2 step world or world step. And it goes pong. Time step is yes, why not? And then I need to draw. Oh, wait. Is there a draw function? Does it simulate? There's a render. Oh, the rendering is very simple. Position. Yes, thank you. Let's see. What could possibly go wrong?
It will work. It will work. Not
It is
quite moving.
extreme. I think it is moving.
Okay.
On
the screen share, it looks like it's not moving at all, but
no, it's not moving at all.
okay, okay.
So set velocity. First off, let's increase the value to something larger.
Don't be a
Larger.
coward. Puts like 10,000.
I don't think this is the problem.
Indeed.
It could be that the body is sleeping.
But wouldn't setting the linear velocity wake the body? I would guess.
Not necessarily. It depends on the physics.
Okay.
Maybe
yeah.
maybe look up how you did it. Oh, there's an apply force. Apply linear
Interesting.
impulse.
Yeah. You could also try to add some gravity just to see if it's actually updating.
Yeah, that's gravity. Doesn't like me. That is very disappointing.
No. Sorry. Linear impulse. That is very disappointing. Agree. Because we don't really have a way to know what's wrong, not working.
It is always. There's a gravity scale.
Interesting.
Is awake. True. I guess that's it. Probably it's gone now. No, it's still there. But I did save.
Maybe try restarting the game just in case something is wrong with the.
Okay, I'm just changing the position to see position is there.
Good idea.
Is enabled.
Surely that's.
Oh,
Oh!
it's enabled. It's enabled.
Congratulations!
And it pauses every time the ball is lost. So, enabling.
So that's interesting. By default, it's not enabled. That's kind of a unfortunate API design.
Yes, there might be macros which help you setting it up. I don't know.
Possibly.
I would need to read up what the latest Box2D tutorials say about that.
Indeed. Checking
Would
the
make sense to look it up.
creating a world.
That was an unsatisfying production of today, but we have a ball that is at least falling.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a kind of a stream full of little issues. But
well,
that's okay.
That's the way it is.
Yes, it's just like.
So next week I'm on a not at home, not on vacation.
Okay.
At least not available. But to wrap it up, I think I would like to. I mean, first off, I can commit this. I mean, we started off with this thing that I had my Git installation broken. I did not have Git LFS. All kinds of things.
Yeah, shit happens.
I modified the. Should I commit that?
Yeah.
Just. What the hell? My tool does not work. Great.
But I think you just added the header so it links properly.
Yeah.
That sounds like you can commit.
I added the header. Git add dot git commit.
Fixed linking of the console window functions.
Adding header console window header to fix Windows.
Nice.
Git push. Let me guess. This is also. Oh, this is working. It's mocking me. It's at a point where it's really actively mocking me. So I'm doing this and that and that and that. And then there is.
Probably this you should commit, right? Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a lot more. But it's very nice that I learned that there's a C version of Box2D.
Yeah. I think it was released like a year ago, perhaps?
Yeah, I think I've read it and thought nice, and then I forgot it. It does not strike me as super new, but I was not sure if it's just whatever.
Yeah, it's
so. Yeah,
I think the guy rewrote it with many improvements in C for interop with other languages.
Yeah, I think there was a blog post or something about it. And
yes, also about determinism.
Oh, interesting. The world is moving to C, finally.
Yeah.
It only took 60 years.
Yes. Moving back to C, I guess.
Now, what I find interesting is, I mean, I work with Unity and C#, and I see all these abstractions and all these things, and every time I get back on my own projects and I work with C, where I think like, it does not need to be this complicated. It does not need to have all these abstraction layers. It's not, for me, in the stuff that I work on, it does not give me the feeling that these abstraction layers are making me more efficient or something. At least on the
Yes.
small scale of the projects I'm working on.
Me
There's
too.
always a promise.
Me too, but when was the last time you had the link issues on Unity projects?
There are plenty of issues that fall into similar categories when you build for your device.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
And then there's this point about how ridiculously big some builds become, and you have no idea why. And then you learn that adding a single attribute on a what's it called again? Boost? It's a boost library, I think.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
You add an attribute and that adds 10,000 lines of code.
But that's C++, right?
Yeah, on the compilation step. And this is creeping me out because I'm thinking like I see it like I've worked almost all my life in a way where it's about we try to make the life of the programmer comfortable. We try to
Mm-hmm. To hide the
make things
complexity.
readable, make it
Yes.
all kinds of things that is programmer and tools oriented.
Yes.
And when I'm working with C, I have the feeling like I have to cater to the CPU. I have to figure out how the memory is working. I know that C is not super close to what happens under the hood on the metal, but it is the closest thing that is not assembly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's for me it gives a joy of trying to figure out
Mm-hmm.
how can I work this way and learn to settle things the CPU wants, not like how a imaginary programmer abstraction thing works.
Nice.
That's
Well put.
how I feel.
Well put. I feel the same. And actually, I thought you were going to say that because it's true that people are very focused on tooling and making the code like look nice and hide the complexity, but to the expense of the actual quality of the program and the user, like has to wait for the game to launch, or the level designer that has to wait for Unity to get into play mode or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you control more of the stack, you can do much more efficient tools.
Yeah. One of the things that annoys me forever since is that when you have code that looks complex and some person complains about that it looks complex, and then it is being refactored into something that hides the complexity in the connections.
A class, a
And
singleton.
all of a sudden, oh, this looks clean and understandable, but in fact, no one understands anymore anything because the complexity is hidden in a layer that is hidden. And it's between the code, how the connections are drawn. And I'm thinking like if something is complex, it should look complex. There's no reason to hide it.
Yes.
And if you want to
Yes,
have
I
it
agree.
simple, make it simpler.
Yeah, and that's like C helps a lot with that. Like you,
Yeah.
indeed, as you said, you see something closer to what the CPU is having to deal with than Python, for example, or even C Sharp, where there are like hidden memory allocation everywhere. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel sometimes that I carry over my C thinking to C sharper and I'm writing something and then I get questions and I'm like, actually, you're right. I should do this differently in C sharp. But think of it that because I had this array approach because we use a lot of lists because lists can grow dynamically and you don't think about it. You just add stuff. And now I'm in my C mind and I'm thinking like I need to know how many elements I need so I can allocate the array. And what I know is if I make one iteration over the data I have and determine the number, and then I made another iteration, where I fill the data, that from the, I mean, it depends on how these, how this counting looks like. But as long as the counting is not needlessly complicated, this is just as fast as creating a dynamic array and then making it grow.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wrote the code in the way that it first iterates it and then it counts it and then I create an array and then I return the array. And I was getting questions, isn't that slower? And then I said like, I don't know. And I benchmarked it. It's not slower, but it produces half the amount of garbage.
Nice. Yeah.
And
that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, in the end, they point out you could also use a temporary list there and yeah, add some different kinds of complexities and get around that. And I said like, yes, true, I should rewrite that. Absolutely makes sense in this context. I was just too focused on my C mindset. But just this idea of, I have the feeling that a lot of people, when they think of arrays and they iterate the array, that they think of it as walking, like a physical act of moving from one place to another, and that looks like effort.
Okay.
When it's more like you're having a quick glance over the data, like you're looking just, and the look is very cheap. And
guess it depends how big the array is, because then you have to load it in the CPU cache, right? From RAM. And if you do two passes, then you have to you invalidate your cache because you go very far in your array and then you go back to the. But probably it's for thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of elements that it matters, and not for 10 enemies in a list or something like this, or 100 enemies in a list.
I mean, the data I'm dealing there with is somewhere in the 4 digits range, so it's not huge, but it's also not so small. But I mean, from the today's memory point of view, it is tiny.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing is also like when you have a simple iteration, the CPU is also very good at just pushing data through and using caches and pipelines effectively, compared to doing some complex loop stuff that is changing. Like when I'm creating a copy of the array because it needs to grow, then it also invalidates a lot of caches and needs to allocate a different memory part and so on.
And it has to do many more like branches. It has to do bounce check a little bit more probably because it cannot optimize out the bounce check from the loops. Yeah. But I can understand like your colleagues if they see duplication in the business logic. Like, what if I want to filter out one type of item? Then I have to add that condition in both the counting code and the filling the array code.
Well, I use the function, so.
What? You use the function?
So I use a function to do the matching, like the filtering.
Well.
And that is working too. And someone also said, like, in link, you just write .where. True.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
I mean, it's also not that I'm strictly opposed to how link works, because in some way it makes sense to look at data in the SQL way, but it's just for game programming. The additional load it implies on the garbage collector in Unity, which also uses an outdated .NET version. For me, I'm like, I don't think we should afford it. And another thing that I find problematic is that when you see a one-liner in link, you're inclined to just copy it to other functions. And that leads to copy-paste programming, where you should really think like, yes, it is a one-liner, but it is a fairly complex bool operation. Like it's checking this age and the name and the ID.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you could say like, why is this not a function?
And since you hide the complexity, you also don't really see the nested loops that might appear. And like compared to if you were to write it with for loops, it's very clear that you are iterating over the entities and then the children and then whatever. Whereas with link, you have to think about the complexity and okay, link is probably going to internally first do this part of the query and then that part. I would guess.
Yeah.
No. But yeah.
I also remember that when I was working still on PHP backend server programming and had a colleague, and the colleague was also like, he said, so I'm running the query counter for page request, and I see that the number went up. So I search for where it happens. Like you want to have as few database queries per page request as possible. So he finds out someone that makes a loop and calls SQL, does something with the data. And so what he does, he takes the loop, converts into the SQL query, updates the query, and reduces the query counter. Then he commits it, and a week later, he analyzes it, sees that the number went up, sees someone put another loop in it, and he does the same. And I just had to think of it because with link, I see it similarly. Like you have a loop, and then someone adds a link query to it. And looking at it and see this can be handled in the loop outside of link, and you can optimize it then.
It becomes too easy to add loops in loops.
Yes.
Maybe.
And I'm thinking like this is exactly the reverse thing, but it's about the same point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Should we stop the stream now?
Call it. Yes, call it a day.
Call it a day. And I suppose then perhaps in 2 weeks we do another.
Yeah,
maybe.
you can try.
All right.
Let's see how long it takes us to repair this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.